Hello and welcome back to the another episode of Daily News Quiz Analysis for IAS Prelims 2025. It is 5th March today, and in this video we are going to solve some important questions which are very much relevant for your preparation. As usual, before we'll start our discussion, I would like to give the brief introduction about this initiative so that if you are new to our channel, you will get more connected with us. Basically in this video, we are going to discuss three types of questions which would be taken from three different sources. So depending on it, the first set of questions which we are going to discuss here would be taken from the current affairs. What we are going to do here? We'll take up the most important articles from the newspapers. We'll try to break them down into the simplest language possible, and we'll try to derive the possible prelims questions from those particular articles so that it will give the idea which part of the newspaper is important for you, what should be your approach when you are reading these news articles, and how can you expect a possible prelims question from these particular articles. This is what we are going to understand in the first part of our discussion. After solving questions with respect to current affairs, we will shift our approach to the another part where we will discuss questions from the static portion. As you know, currently we are discussing Indian polity, and in Indian polity we are discussing the Parliament of India now. And in the Parliament of India, we are currently discussing the Raj Sabha. So today we are going to discuss few important concepts related to the election of the members of the Raj Sabha, and we'll try to derive the possible prelims question from those particular topics so that it will give you the idea how actually a question can be asked in the exam related to these topics, and it will prepare you well before your exams. After solving questions with respect to static topic, also we'll shift our approach to the last part of our discussion where we will solve some previous year questions. To me this is the most important part because in here we learn what is the vocabulary used by UPSC over the years, how they changed it, what are the different trends they follow, and we will try to learn what can be the different techniques which we can implement in the exam if we don't have the proper knowledge of the question, and also we will try to learn how we can implement this information which we will get from this video in the upcoming exam. So this is in nutshell what we are going to do in this video. Now before we will start our discussion, I would like to request you guys, please do subscribe the channel. When you subscribe us, it motivates us to work more hard on these topics and provide you the best information possible. We are still growing, so please do subscribe us, do acknowledge our hard work by subscribing us. Please do share it with your friends so that they may also get benefited from this initiative, and also please do write in the comments what else should we bring for you. So with this, let's have a look at the first question as we had brought today. Here the question is basically about the potential impact of linking Aadhaar with voter ID. So you may wonder, sir, you may ask me a question here. There was no such discussion, basically a discussion about the impact of linking Aadhaar with voter ID. But why we had brought it here? Basically, there was a discussion about the voter IDs. Actually, there was discussion about the various troubles election commission of India has gone through. Elections had gone through throughout this year or throughout these years, various issues which got importance because they were very much controversial, and it put some light on the election commission of India. It put some light on the very concept of fair and free election. So what are those situations which got the limelight during years that we will discuss here. First, before going to that discussion, we will first solve the question and then we will shift to the discussion of why we had brought this question here. Let us solve the question first. Let us see what question we had brought today. Here the question says, consider the following statements regarding the potential impact of linking Aadhaar with voter ID. So here we have to discuss, we have to find out what is the potential impact of linking Aadhaar with voter ID. First statement, it would definitely eliminate all instances of voter frauds. Would it eliminate all instances of voter frauds? No, definitely not. Even though few voter frauds can be eliminated. For example, if we will use biometrics, double counting can be reduced. But will it definitely eliminate all the instances of voter fraud? No, it will never. It is not the solution. It is not the full solution which will eliminate all the instances of voter fraud. Linking Aadhaar with the voter ID is not the solution. So first statement is incorrect with respect to all instances of voter frauds. Even though it can help in few, but not for all. Second statement, it could lead to the disenfranchisement of certain marginalized population. 100% correct. This linking Aadhaar with the voter IDs, it will definitely lead the biometrics of the person, and it will definitely lead to disenfranchisement of certain marginalized population, because those working in labor, I'm giving an example of those working in agricultural lands, their biometrics get eroded after some time. Their biometrics, because of their hard work, their fingerprints get damaged. So definitely there are various drawbacks associated with the linking of your voter ID with the Aadhaar card. When they will go for the voting, their fingerprints might not match, and they would finally lose this right of voting. So definitely this is the potential impact of it. So second statement is correct. Third statement, guarantees the removal of all non-citizens from the electoral rolls. No, this is totally incorrect, because we have to understand the possession of Aadhaar does not mean that you are the citizen of India. It means that it is basically the identity card of the person. So definitely third statement is incorrect, and Aadhaar card can be possessed by non-citizens also in our country. So third statement is incorrect. Fourth statement, it may raise concerns regarding the potential misuse of personal data. 100% correct. This is one of the issue related to Aadhaar cards. So with respect to this question, what is the correct solution? Correct solution is option B, which is 2 and 4 only. Now, we discussed the question. We saw through this question, we saw what is the impact of linking Aadhaar with the voter ID. Mostly it is being seen. What we understood from this question is that there are majorly negative impacts associated with it. But here the question, the author of the news article which was in discussion today, he talks about different things. Basically, he talks there are two major issues which has got importance during these years. One was with respect to Election Commission of India, and it has raised a question over it, and according to the author, Election Commission of India should give the valid reason to those cases. For example, the first issue what got the importance was the voter turnout. First issue was talking about the voter turnout. We saw that in assembly elections there was, so especially if the author is giving the example of Maharashtra elections. In assembly elections there was certain voter turnout, and in the legislative, in the local, in the in the assembly, in the parliament election, there was certain voter turnout. But in the legislative assembly of that particular state, the voter turnout increased to the highest level. It was seen that 49%, 49 lakh people, there was 49 lakh people more voted in the assembly, in the state assembly election of Maharashtra. So definitely there is huge voter turnout, and this question was asked to the Election Commission of India, why there is so, is there any voter fraud which has happened there? To me this was not an issue, because usually what happens, this is my personal opinion here, when there are legislative assemblies for the states, the voters, they are much interested in that rather than the parliamentary elections, because they feel that in some way we can say that there is not that people are not that much interested in voting for the parliamentary elections at the local levels as compared to the legislative assemblies. That is one of the reasons there are much voter turnout in the state legislative elections than the parliamentary elections. And second thing, there can be the cases that more people got involved, due to, maybe due to migration, more people are getting involved in it. So there can be various reasons why these voter turnouts increase. And the another thing, which another issue, this is one of the issue which was highlighted here. The another issue is of the of the double counting of, is basically about the voter IDs, voter ID cards. In voter ID cards there is a unique 10-digit number, and it has been found out that this unique 10-digit number, it is not that unique. Many states, in many states, this 10-digit number is getting repeated, and there could be various reasons that either one person is registered, one migrant is registered in both host state as well as in the as well as in the state to which he has migrated to, in native state and the host state. And second, the two persons are having the same voter ID number. And the reason is because there is no centralized way to control it. There was no centralized way to control it. It was controlled regionally, and there are chances that this could had happened. It could happen that many voters would get same 10-digit numbers. So these are the issues which were discussed in the news article, and that's why the solution to the second part, these intermingling of voter IDs, is adopting the Aadhaar cards, is linking Aadhaar cards with linking Aadhaar numbers with the voter ID. That is the solution to the second issue which we discussed here. So definitely linking Aadhaar with the voter IDs, it is a solution for some problems, but it is not the solution for every problem. So definitely the Election Commission of India has to think over it, has to give the analysis, has to analyze the issue and bring up the best solution, so that, as I earlier said, that few things, it should not only seem that it should not only be that it is free and free election, it should seem to be free and free election. So this is what is important for everybody. So with this, I hope you had understood the question as well as the context of the question. Now let's move to the another slide and see what question we had brought there. Here the question is basically about the 1967 Outer Space Treaty. So you may wonder why we had brought this question here. When I will give you the the context, you will connect it then. So before going to the context, let's solve the question. Let's have a basic understanding about this 1967 Outer Space Treaty. So let's see what does the question say. The question says, which of the following principles are enshrined in the 1967 Outer Space Treaty? First statement, it says outer space, including the moon and other celestial bodies, shall be free for exploration and use by all states without discrimination. 100% correct. So in simpler words, the outer space belongs to every country. So it is free to explore for every country by all states without any discrimination. This is the basic principle of it. Second statement, it says states shall bear international responsibility for national activities in outer space. 100% correct. The states shall bear international responsibility for national activities in outer space, including activities by non-government entities. 100% correct. Why why this statement is important? Because recently we saw that there was an accident from the SpaceX, SpaceX mission and SpaceX rocket, and some part of it fell into the Poland. And because of this principle, Poland asked compensation from the answers from the US, and they denied it. So they in a way violated this principle of this act. So it becomes important for us to have this understanding. What does the act actually talk about? So what does the treaty actually talks about? So the second statement is also correct. Third statement, the establishment of military base on the moon is permissible provided they are not used for peaceful purposes. Totally incorrect. This is not advisable. This is not true. So third statement is incorrect. Fourth statement, any damage caused by a space object to another state or its natural or jurisdictional persons shall be the liability of the launching state. 100% correct. So with respect to this question, what are the correct statements? Correct statements are statement 1, statement 2 and statement 4. So from the code given below, the correct code would be option D. Now here we understood the question. Now let's go to the recently we saw that the Firefly Aerospace, they successfully carried out soft landing on the lunar surface. You know that was the highest achievement of the private company in US, and under which mission it was done? It was done under the mission Blue Ghost Mission 1. You know to which this is a very significant achievement, and in a if we will see it, it is the achievement of humanity that we are reaching to these highest levels. We are reaching to these celestial bodies. We are doing such experiment. We are bringing in such experiments, which shows the level of evolution in the human history. But to this, if the countries start taking the credit particular to such subjects, it is not that much respected in the world. So to this, what does the NASA, the chief of the NASA, he reacted very controversially. He said that America will always come first, and he in a way talked about the American domination in this space exploration. So definitely this American domination in space exploration, it does not go well with other countries. It is something volatile And that's why it becomes important for us to understand the 1967 outer space treaty, to have the understanding what does this work in outer space mean to the people. It does not belong to any country, it belongs to the whole world. Any achievement is cherished by the whole world. But if countries start talking about the domination, it would definitely lead to the competition between the countries, and it would eventually end into disaster for everyone. So definitely the statement made by the chief of NASA was not very good, was not very humble. That's why it made us discuss this treaty. What does it talk about? So with this, let's move to the another slide and see what question we had brought there. Here the question is with respect to Taiwan. Basically there was discussion about the Taiwan-US relationship, how it has been so far. So let's first solve the question here and get the basic understanding about it. Let's see what does the question say. The question says, regarding the status of Taiwan, consider the following statement. First statement: the One China principle is universally recognized by all members of the United Nations. No, totally incorrect. One China principle, it is proposed by the China, the modern China PRC, that whole China, this One China principle, One China principle, and One China policy promoted by them. It is not accepted by all the members of the United Nations, but majority of the members of the United Nations accept it. So first statement is incorrect. Even US accepts it, even India accepts it, but we have separate relationship with Taiwan. US has separate relationship with Taiwan. So with respect to that, that's why we are discussing this question. So first statement is incorrect. Second statement, it says Taiwan maintains formal diplomatic relations with a significant number of countries across the continent. 100% correct. Very simple and straightforward statement. Nothing wrong with that. So second statement is correct. Third statement, the Taiwan Relations Act of the United States provides for the defense of Taiwan. 100% correct. Between Taiwan and the US, there is a they had signed an act that is known as Taiwan Relations Act of 1979, in which the US provides them the political and military defense. US shares political and military defense relations with Taiwan. And they have many collaborations under it. At the same time, US is supporting the Taiwan's cause, but at the same time, US is recognizing the China's One China principle. So this is very much controversial way of dealing with this issue. And with respect to this, why we are basically discussing this topic, with respect to this, why we actually are discussing it, because the Donald Trump, he has argued that Taiwan should buy more more secure, more defense, military arms from US. Taiwan should be much, should be paying more for America's security. Taiwan should be paying more for America's security. So they should, as right now, USA is very much responsible for the security of the Taiwan. They are providing the military arms to them, and according to Donald Trump, Taiwan should buy more from them. With respect to this, that is why it is in the news. So third statement is also correct. Fourth statement, Taiwan is a member of the World Health Organization with full participation rights. Totally incorrect. So with respect to this question, as the question says, which of the following given statements are not correct? Here we have to find out which of them are not correct. So the not correct statements are statement 1 and statement 4 only, and from the code below, the correct code would be option A. With this, let's move to the another slide and see what question we had brought there. Here the question is about the financial system stability assessment report. The question says the financial system stability assessment report for India is published by which of the following international organization? Is it World Bank? It is definitely International Monetary Fund. Why it is in news? Because it has highlighted some issues with the NBFCs, as they are being involved in certain sectors only, and it could lead to the and right now the situation is very much very much different. It is in a way stagflated situation right now, and if these NBFCs are still involved in these particular sectors, for example sectors like power and infrastructure, and if they are not if they will not be used that much, if they will not benefit that much as how much the NBFCs are investing in it, this could lead to the non-performing assets. This could lead to the non-performing assets, non-performing assets, or this could lead to the bankruptcy of the public sector banks, because NBFCs are borrowing from them and they will become the non-perform. These assets will become non-performing assets. As right now the situation is very much different. It is very much stagflating right now. So definitely this report here suggests that these NBFCs should focus on a wider space rather than being focused on particular to power and infrastructure. That's why we had brought this question. So please remember which organization publishes this report: Financial System Stability Assessment Report. It is published by International Monetary Fund. So with this, let's move to the another slide and see what question we had brought next. Here the question says the Mindanao region recently featured in news related to the establishment and ongoing transition of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao belongs to which of the following countries? Definitely it belongs to Philippines, because this Mindanao region, it is very much Islamic. They are in the Philippines. Philippines is basically the Christian majority country, but this region is particular to Muslims. And why it is in news? Because their fighter jet of the Philippines crashed in this particular region. So UPSC has this trend, they ask such questions, so please remember this part also. So with this we complete every question related to the current affairs which are related to our prelims exam. Now let's shift our approach to the another part of our discussion where we will solve actually a static topic and see what we had brought today. As you know, currently we are discussing the Rise Sabha. You can see it here. We are discussing Rise Sabha. So we yesterday we established a few important points about Rise Sabha, how it is the federal house, how it represents states and UTs with assemblies. What is the maximum strength? We discussed that. What is the sanction strength? We discussed that. We discussed how many members are nominated by the president. We discussed everything related to it. So today we are going to discuss a few more concepts related to it with respect to elections majorly, so that we will understand through this question. Let us solve the question and get more idea about the Raj Sabha. Here the question says, regarding the election of members to the Raj Sabha, consider the following statements. First statement: members are elected by the directly elected members of the state legislative assemblies and not only state legislative assemblies and UTs with assemblies. 100% correct. These members are elected by the direct elected members of the state legislative assemblies and UTs. 100% correct. Those UTs who have the legislative assemblies. Second statement: the election follows the system of proportional representation by means of the single transferable vote, same as the election of the president and vice president. 100% correct. Nothing wrong with it. Third statement: the term of a Raj Sabha member is 6 years, with 1/3 of the member retiring every 2 years. 100% correct. Please remember that. A question about a statement about it can be formed in the exam. Fourth statement: the President of India nominates 12 members to the Raj Sabha from among persons having specific knowledge or practical experience in certain fields. 100% correct. So with respect to this question, the correct statement would be statement 1, statement 2, statement 3 and statement 4. And from the code given below, the correct code is option D. So with this, I hope you had got the basic understanding about the Raj Sabha. The introduction about the Raj Sabha you had understood. From tomorrow we will discuss about the eligibility, qualification, disqualifications, oath and other related concepts with the Raj Sabha. So with this, let's move to the another slide and see what previous year question we had brought today. Here the question says, a class of animals having a marsupials is a characteristic feature of Australia. It is basically talking about those animals who carry their babies, or these are the marsupials, or a group of animals commonly have pouches or pocket of skin where the mother nurses their young ones. These marsupials are found in Australia. 100% correct. And the common example of marsupials are kangaroo and koala. 100% correct. So with respect to this question, the correct statement is option B. With this, basically this question was asked in 2000, in the year 2000, and we should know that currently we are discussing questions from the world geography. So with this, we complete today's discussion. I hope you would have liked the video. I hope you would share it with your friends so that they may also get benefited from this initiative. And please I hope you would subscribe the channel. So with this, I would like to thank you very much for staying with me, and have a nice day.